All right, guys, it's my favorite time of year to start fishing, the fall. Why? Because they just absolutely bite a glide bait in the fall. So I'm getting ready to head down to Lake of the Ozarks for the Big Bass Bash. It's the first weekend of October, and first place, the biggest bass for the weekend, gets $100,000. Now they've got hourly prizes and they've got a bunch of other stuff in there. They've got second through fifth, get a big cash prize. It's a really fun tournament. These are really fun to fish. It's a lot different than a traditional like 5-fish format tournament, as in it's a lot more laid back, I feel like. And I'm going into this thing with no practice, because I know if I practice down there, I'm no doubt gonna catch a 7-pounder in practice. Gonna catch something giant in practice, like, oh, this thing would win so much in the tournament. So I'm not even gonna risk it. I'm not even gonna put that in my head. I'm gonna go into it fresh, and I'm gonna target 2 different things that are really fall oriented with glide baits that should produce the biggest fish in the lake. So the first one, first light in the morning, right as it's coming up, I'm looking to get really lucky on some of the biggest fish that live in the lake. So if you talk to a diver, someone that goes down a lot in the water, scuba dives, looks around a lot, they'll tell you that some of the biggest fish in the lake live on bluff ends and kind of that bluff end style point. So I'm going to be targeting bluff end type stuff, just any place that those fish can kind of just chill out on, like a little shallower ledge right on the edge of a bluff. I'll put a picture up here of Navionics map so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Stuff like this where I'm going to be making long distance casts, working this over those kind of shallow areas, trying to get a big one to come up first thing in the morning. Now, traditionally, glide bait bites aren't the absolute best in the morning, but I'm only fishing for one fish. I've got to get lucky. I feel like that's the best shot that I have early in the morning on getting lucky on a glide bait. Now, once the sun comes up, I'm going to start transitioning more towards the backs of pockets. I'm going to be really focusing on docks. Lake of the Ozarks has like a 1.2 million docks on it. Something ridiculous. It's not that high. But start focusing on docks, starting in the backs of pockets, and I'm going to start working out until I find the shad and bass populations. So I'm going to be throwing around the darter a lot. This thing is absolutely killer around docks. You can shoot it up underneath docks really well. They just absolutely bite it. And this is a bite getter. I'll switch to these or a bigger glide around docks as well. But to start out really trying to get a feel for where those fish are in the pockets, I'm going to be throwing the darter a lot. It's a really good reactive bait. If they see it and they see this thing darting around, shooting up underneath docks, acting erratic, they want to kill it. So start throwing this around docks and towards the backs of pockets. If I'm not getting bit in the backs, I'll start working out 2/3 of the way back, 1/3 of the way back towards the mouth of pockets until I find out where those fish have been. It's been fairly warm leading up to this tournament. It's been a really warm fall. It was in the 90s up until until about a week ago. Then it finally got down into the 40s and 50s at night and up into the 70s as highs during the day. So these fish should be starting to get in that fall transition, and that bite should really be picking up. One other thing that I'll point out when fishing this first thing in the morning, it is 100% going to help if there's wind on that point. So if there's no wind on it, it'll kind of it's going to lead me not to fish it as much as a point that's got the wind blowing directly onto it. As far as high percentage docks I'm looking for, I'll keep in mind that there's usually a deeper side of a pocket and a shallower side of a pocket. I'll sample both trying to figure out what they're on. But my initial instinct is, since it's fall, they're going to be on that shallower side. There's a lot shallower floats on the docks. 3, 4, 5 foot of water. Brush is obviously going to help. Something that they can kind of get around. Back floats on docks. I'm not opposed to getting a soft swim bait, skipping it up underneath the back floats of the docks and testing that out too. So, a couple different things. I'm going to film this entire thing. There'll be a video out later on that. Make sure your pause game's good. You might even see something, a little prototype I've been working on. So, a little bit of a teaser there. But yeah, so if you're fishing this tournament, good luck. If you're just looking for this for information on fall fishing, good luck as well. And make sure to like and subscribe for that video to come. We'll see you guys.